So after you've finished with your case, you have all of your files on your SSD, and then you take the SSD to your editing suite. I assume that you have this at home, and when you go to that disk, this is my SSD right here. When I open it, you'll see something like this. You'll see the audio source files, the video ISO files, and you'll see some MP4s. This is the program that's created when you actually do the recording. I have 3 of them here because we stopped it and started it, stopped it and started it 3 times. So there's 3 MP4s, and you can see by the size they're relatively large. So you can't leave these files on your SSD, otherwise you'll have to keep an endless supply of SSDs. So you need to take these files and place them in a central location. So what I do is I have a server in my editing suite that has a lot of storage, and it's a fast server. And I call the server Resolve Files. So all of my Resolve files are on a hard drive in one central location where I know where they are. And all of my Resolve files are on that, it's a network attached storage because I have so many of them. And if I go into that, these are all of the videos that I've taken by case number. Now I happen to create a file just for this, and we call it I created a file on the server, Adams, that's the patient name, Adams for Dr. Chada. And when I go into that, there's nothing here. So I need to copy it into that folder. So I go back to my SSD. And remember, these are the files on your SSD. The audio files, video files, the 3 program files, and you have a Dissolve project file. This is the project file that's also created. So we take these, I copy them, and I go back to my folder that I've created on my master server drive, and I simply paste them in. And these are large files, so it takes a while to copy these. Now that they're copied, they are on the server in a folder where I know where they are. Now I'm going to start DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to actually, now it loads Resolve with the last project that you had opened, but this is not our project, so we need to create the new project. So you go down to the project manager, you click New Project, and it asks you to name it. I'll name it Adams for Chada, and then you specify the location so that it always knows where to find it. And the location is in the folder that we created right there. Select that folder. Now Resolve knows where to find these files. We go ahead and create it. And then I typically go to the cut page and I add those files to the media pool, and I do that through the import media folder function. And this will import all of those files that we just placed on the server. I find the folder. The folder is Atoms for Chada. And now it adds all those files to your project. These are the three videos, the three project videos. If we double click on them, you can scroll through them. And then when you look at your ISO files, these are all of the files and you can scroll through them as you want. These are all the files from your GoPros, from the monitors, and from the microscope. So I've loaded the project. This is the project where I actually showed this. I've showed this many times on TDO. So utilizing all those different views. So now I want to make a video out of this. So you establish the out point, the in point, and then you go to deliver. And in the deliver menu, you title this, and then you indicate the location where you want that video file stored. I don't store them as MOVs. I store them as MP4s. I usually use 265 because it's a more compression and higher quality. And then I just add that to the render queue. And that creates the video file that you're interested in. So when it saves it to however you saved it. This is the one that I've called it the final FA case discussion. And it's an MP4. If we play it. So this is what I see. Before we start, this is in here. We can scroll through it. So now I have the video file. And this is the file that you put into TDO. So let's show how to do that. I'm going to bring up TDO. So now I'm in TDO. I'm in the patient's record. So to actually do videos in TDO, you need to go to Setup, Site Configuration, Edit Control Table, go into the Application Settings, and specify the path where you're going to store those videos. You want to have a separate drive for your videos because the videos are a very large size. So that's the path. You cannot store the videos if the setup cannot find the path. So after you've saved your path, then you can go to the organizer and you can bring in that video. Let's go find it. Here it is. This is the video. You double click on it.
So this is what I see. If you forward star, this is a mirror.
And you can scroll through it.
This one is probably right here.
So that's the procedure for bringing these videos. I typically don't keep the videos in TDO. I keep all of the still shots and radiographs. But typically, if I need the video, I keep that on my server, and I know where it is because I've created a separate folder for it. So I hope that's not too confusing and it helps.